Hello, we are in Mike's studio, and by now you probably know that his name wasn't Mike, but you know what? He's always gonna be Mike, and that's just how it is. You can clearly tell that I don't know what we're gonna say. We is me and some other nutsos. We were at a beautiful service where beautiful girls were singing beautiful songs and people were saying beautiful things about a beautiful man. And then we were at a place where there was food and many more beautiful people said beautiful things about a beautiful man that you know as Mike Milton. And we're actually in his studio. And I grabbed you a couple of shots of the things that you know over the years and some amazing, amazing pictures of faces of the man that you probably don't know, with long hair, short hair, him looking like James Hetfield. And we're going to throw all this stuff in the video as we are here saying a last goodbye to a very, very good friend. So I traveled to England with Michiel Posnier. And from...
Full title, please.
Reverend Laird Michiel Posnier, former mayor of Hell.
Thank you. Paying good money for that.
Established titles isn't a thing, so it's actually not a lairdship. Whatever. Don't tell him. He's gonna get mad. There's Adam Steely.
Hi.
From the Hop Holes, and there's Lee Fuge. Lee Fuge from Lee Fuge on the YouTube, and there's Jake Lee Fuge.
And they spelled the Lee.
Jake Lee Fuge. Jake Lee, and we're here. I feel kind of ridiculous, and it's not because of the sweater, because a very, very small group of friends was invited back to the house with Sarah and the kids, and I don't know why we're here, because, you know, friends and stuff, but being part of the family in that way, and his parents coming up to us and saying what YouTube meant and what we meant to him is just weird. There were hundreds of people, and we're here because, who are we? We're just some people that did the same thing he did, well, except bitch about it not being the Monterey Strat. None of us did that. That was just him. Okay, so I'm just gonna go and step over there and have other people, talk about a really, really good guy.
Oh, before you do, look what I found already out here.
It's his uniform.
Yeah, that was just here. That wasn't like placed for product placement or anything. That's who Mike was. This was just out, ready to go.
And I shot it for you guys. I'll throw it in right here. That really just moved me. Back in the corner are the badges for all the gear streets. He kept all of it. And when you walk through this room, you see all the brands that he met at Gear Street. There's Jupiter Effects and Engel, and there's Engels and more Engels, and there's Soldano, and there's more Engels, and the Boutique Arms Distribution, and Lewitt. And you see all this in the shots that I'm throwing in here. All these brands that he met at the event. I know that meant something for him, but I think the bond that we formed, and really, I think I met him maybe 7 times. But within those 7 times, we formed a friendship that clearly led to us being here. So now, Mr. Squealy.
Me first, then again. So, Mike was a friend, but he was somebody who I had never met until I went to Germany, to 42 Gear Street. And immediately...
I'm just checking the thing that I might have messed up. No, good. Because one time I set up things and didn't turn the 48 volt on because I'm an idiot.
Smooth.
Yeah. That would be bad if that happened.
I can see the audio meters moving, it's fine. So, yes, train of thought. Thanks, Henny.
Sorry.
So immediately I met Mike as I knew him, and immediately we were friends because he was that kind of person where it took 3 seconds for Mike to be your friend, and not in a trying to be your friend kind of way. He just was, because that's the kind of kind-hearted man that he was. He was also a bit of a man of action at that Gear Street. He filmed more videos than the rest of us combined, whilst also manning the switchboard and all sorts of stuff, because what a guy. And we ended up with a story that I will remember for the rest of my life.
That's going to be interesting.
Yes. Of course, first time I've met him, and at that time he hadn't, there was no MND or anything like that at the time. He was fighting fit, so we were having a drink or two, shall we say, or 10 or 20, and it was rather late. And almost everybody had gone to bed outside the hotel, because kind of the routine at Gear Street is everybody hangs out outside the hotel until time to turn in. And there's nobody left except Jamie Humphries, Mike. Right? See where this is going?
Any Jamie Humphries stories is a bad story.
Yeah. Andy Ferris and me.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Gear Street, Les Trois. And of course, I had to do a video with my brother, Jamie Humphries. It's so good to see you again.
Hello, love.
I didn't turn the volume down. What a idiot.
We start again.
No, I'll have to bleep that one out. So, last year, we spent the entire week laughing at each other.
And we've kind of done that already. Yeah.
And most people that were here with us spent the week laughing at us.
Yeah.
They're not laughing anymore because we're back and they're not.
I'm actually quite surprised that Henning invited me back, actually.
I'm not at all, because you're just a great guy, and not only
I've got a rubbish YouTube channel.
Not only are you an awesome player and should have a massive YouTube channel, but you're a funny guy. You've got the best stories in the world, and you just make me cry with laughter. I have to say, man, I love you, and I love hanging out with you.
It's very kind, mate. I love you too. We do have a good old laugh.
We do.
I do miss the night we stole Carl's pork from the. I couldn't breathe. I was laughing so much at this.
And we have had so many beers out of these cases that we can't stand straight. We are literally kind of dancing involuntarily because we're yes. Anyway, we are starving, and it turns out that Carl Golden, who had been there that year, hadn't had his food, so it was in the fridge. And Jamie and Mike had gone to the fridge to get it, and there was a dog guarding the fridge. And we went, arr, arr, arr. And so that was the most hilarious thing, because Jamie's in his flip-flops and Mike's creasing up laughing and going, stop, 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 with this dog going, arr, 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 and scaring the crap out of us at 3 a.m. But fast forward a few minutes, and it's this pork knuckle we just devour it like cavemen. The Jamie then goes to bed. And the three of us, me, Mike and Andy, think it'd be really funny because we can see out the corner of our eye Jamie's hotel room, which I believe he was sharing with Mike. I think they were sharing a room that year.
Okay, could
and yeah, and so we thought it'd be really funny to start throwing the bits of this pork knuckle through the window at Jamie. And of course, we're so drunk we can't see straight, and all we hear is thunk, oi! and that was just we woke up the next morning hungover as anything, and that was just the funniest memory that I will have for the rest of my life, as well as the friends that I've made because of him and everything else that he did for us. So yeah, that is a memory to share with you all that will now stick with you forever. Next.
Let's go in order, shall we? For my OCD.
Yeah.
Wait. Because I find it important to fact check stories, and Adam just said how nice Mike was at the second Gear Street, and that was his first one. Mike was a liar. He was a liar. When those people came, and I'm just pointing to YouTubers in general, he told them, like, I was here last year, and last year we helped a lot with the crew, and we did some switching, and we did some cleanup, and everyone pulled his weight. Which they didn't, because they were all divas. But the second year, they all helped because Mike was a liar. but the good kind of liar. Ha ha.
Check this out. What I just
It's funny
what
'cause
I
it's
just
true.
found.
Yeah. Not only those.
Tell the people what those are.
Oh, wow.
These are poker chips because we have an ingenious system thought up by a not so much genius of dividing rooms by the use of poker chips and how much cloud people have. That's how influencers start. How much cloud people have meant how much chips they had, and how much chips they had meant how much videos they could make in the studios. And as you see, Mike still has all his videos because Mike said, you guys, you use the studios, I'll just do my thing and then you guys can shoot more videos, which also isn't the point of the event. So, I mean,
The fact that he has those chips means he was just too good of a guy.
yeah. And the liar. I mean, again, the good kind of liar, but facts.
He made everyone work.
Next. So obviously, most people know him as Mike because
That's
that was his YouTube persona. But there was another side to him that we all saw off the camera, and I think we do have some stories that we probably can't share because there are things that he probably said that, dare I say, are unsafe for broadcast.
Yeah, he always kept,
It's Henning's channel, so you can...
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we...
but Mike always kept his channel family friendly on
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah. He was sometimes not the most family-friendly guy, though. But he was a nice guy. And I was a bit later to the YouTube thing, so I've only been doing this for a couple of years. But because of this guy, I got to meet Mike, having been someone who watched his channel for many years. I then got to meet him and become friends with him, which was and even, you know, being in this room is a bit surreal in that sense because I saw so many videos filmed here before I knew him as a person. But yeah, it was great to kind of get to know the non-family friendly guy. I think it's quite safe to say.
He was way more.
Same word.
He was way more fun than the guy on camera. I gotta say.
He was, and I guess that kind of backs up Michiel's point that he was a liar because what a lot of people saw on YouTube was not the real guy. There was a whole other side to him, which usually arrived when the cameras went off.
We need a KDH video on Mike.
China Mike exposed.
I did threaten to do that to him once. I actually have some footage somewhere of him saying some not very family friendly words, and I did say I would leak that if he ever upset me in any way. So.
Wait. We don't have that anymore because Gear Street 3,
Yeah.
Tony went around and he had him say all the horrible words.
Oh,
He
yes,
said,
did, yeah.
he said, I don't know,
He did. I remember that.
motherfucker, fuck, cunt, asshole. I mean, all the horrible, you should never say them words.
Yeah.
But then Tonio bleeped them all out because it was still Mike. So Mike's sitting in the garage swearing his ass off in that video, and Tonio, in the Mike fashion, bleeped it all out. I don't think I've got the raw footage, but that raw footage would be him for 30 seconds just swearing like crazy. That would be so funny.
Yeah,
but
that'd be
just
good.
just know that it exists.
Yeah. And this is our food for the day.
I want to have a review with only disgusting words. Go.
Maybe we should do 2 pickups, like you found the footage and oh Mike, or unfortunately we didn't find it.
I don't think I've got the raw footage. I have the final video with the bleeping.
Just
I have
do a
some footage of him
voiceover.
saying things. I have some clips of him saying things.
Approximation of what you think Mike said here.
No, we'll keep him friendly.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say. So that's me. Other than thank you, Mike, for everything.
It's it's really weird being in here. It's just as hot as ever, and it's
Unlike your haircut.
oh, here we go.
Unlike your haircut.
Oh, a different haircut, big deal. Good. I shot my first ever YouTube video in this room, and I didn't even know I was going to do it. Mike just sort of put me on the spot, and then from that point onwards, I had a YouTube channel. So that's how my channel began. So it wouldn't have even really started if I hadn't been here with Mike. My first event sort of stuff was done in this room, being thrown into this situation, performing in front of other YouTubers. So he threw me in at the deep end, and I can't thank him enough for that. We've had. It's been a horrible day. I mean, I'm standing here now. I can see his kids outside playing football and everybody around that loved him. But it's been an unbelievable celebration of his life, and just the turnout and the stories that you've been hearing all day is just helped everybody and helped the whole thing together. I would have never have met Henning or anybody behind me, and
who then, I don't know, like, you ended up on an island because of
he had to bring up the island. Of course.
Sorry, we were on an island, which Mike was invited to. We wanted to bring him. It was already too bad, and it would have been life-threatening for him to make the 5-day trip. So
just the fact that he was asked, that when he told me that Henning had invited him to the island, and he was literally in tears because he was just so happy and overwhelmed that Henning would invite him.
He was the first one I called, by the way. No offense
Of course he was. And you walk into this room, and it's almost like you see this stuff hanging around. It's almost like a shrine to Gear Street and all the connections and friends that he's made over the years. So Henning is somebody that he held in such high regard. I mean, we all think he's a bit of a dick, but Mike loved him.
I mean, you're not wrong.
And yeah, so I have so much to thank Mike for, as so many people do. So thank you, Mike.
So meet me again. Now, we talked all about what he did for us and what he meant for us in Gear Street and all that, and China Mike and the Monterey Les Paul. But
There, isn't it?
that's the thing.
That's
Somewhere there.
Let's ball there.
Wow, it's right there.
There it is.
Chipson. Now talking to his hundreds of friends and Beth, who is putting up Michiel and I. So thank you, Beth and Matt.
Literally putting up with us.
Putting up with us, yeah. And so last night we went through. Beth apparently dated him in the late 80s when they were 17. When they were 17, it's a song. And so we saw pictures of him.
I mean, if it was a year later, it would have turned into 18 and life.
No 18 in life.
I was waiting for that.
So we saw pictures of him in his rock bands and hearing about him loving Iron Maiden, which I didn't know. We had no idea he was a very gifted songwriter. No clue that he could sing. And we hear about all this panto stuff, and I didn't know what panto is. Apparently, it's a thing. You guys do this in January.
Oh no, we don't.
No?
Oh yes, we did.
So what is it? Like you Brits do a thing where adults.
You don't get what just happened, but that was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was perfect. But basically, panto is something.
We don't.
Panto is something that we do that's called fun. I don't know if you have that.
Not in Germany.
But we call it fun. It's like a thing you go out and you have a good time. Yeah.
Excuse me for a second. Okay, continue. What is it? What's panto? Come here. Leave huge.
It's kind of like a theatre show, usually based around like fairy tales, like Peter Pan, Cinderella, all these classic kids stories. But they're acted live on stage, and they're done in a way that's funny, but also inappropriate for children. But there's a lot of like hidden humour.
Tongue in cheek.
Okay.
Tongue in cheek.
And that's done in January every year.
It's a Christmas thing, so it's like the run up to Christmas.
Okay.
And then post Christmas for a couple.
And
of
it's
weeks
like
as well.
amateur productions of that.
Major ones as well. They normally have like a big star in each one. That's someone that's been on TV at some point. They're quite a big deal, and they have like live bands that play the tracks live.
Okay, so we don't know about this. The Brits are weird. So
I think I covered everything.
yeah. So he did that.
Behind you.
Yeah, there's a lot of audience interaction as well.
So we did. Oh my god. He did that with the local group, and apparently really took over, wrote the scripts, which were super highly offensive. Apparently, so offensive that they had to be edited down. I heard. I'm going to tell the story. So this guy told me, well, I had to read a role, like a script, and it was of course empty. I had my text, and so Lance gave him the the scroll to read, and during the performance he had written something on it. So he opens it up and it says something about, what, you stupid cunt, you're gonna fuck that up anyway. Which of course completely derailed him. And then he realized, as he had that open, apparently the light was shining through it so that the whole audience could see what was written on it. Apparently that was loads of fun. So he got into the Panto thing through Beth, and then started doing that and started doing more theater, and he produced with a theater group called Act 2, if I get this correctly.
Take two. Take two.
No, it isn't.
Act 2.
Sorry, disregard.
Take 2. Act 2, not Take 2. Produced many shows, many musicals, was involved in the lighting, the sound. We're looking at all the mic stuff, not the mic stuff, not the name mic.
Well, it is all mic stuff.
Not the mic stuff, but the microphones, and he produced all that, and he was super involved, and then did a whole school and thing where kids could do performances, and he coached them and directed them. He was so involved in so many artistic things with the theater and Panto and musical group. None of us in YouTube knew this. None of us knew that he could sing like this, right?
I think I found the...
No, you didn't! None of us knew that he could write songs like this, right?
No.
So his YouTube thing was, let's talk about Chinese guitars and the Monterey thing, and let's review gear. Whereas his other part of life was super creative and supportive, and so many kids, so many young girls that he touched. I had to say it.
The heart.
No, so many letters from girls that he coached at that school. Stop it! It was funny.
Turn the video off, Annie.
And they went on to college doing theater. They made this a career. He guided so many kids to a career in musical theater. So this guy did so much more than you know in front of the camera.
But did he open an umbrella?
We don't know if he opened an umbrella. Glenn Fricker can open an umbrella. But the point is, when you see someone that you think is called Mike Milton, it might be a Lance Milton. He talks about Chinese guitars. In his actual life, he's inspiring kids to become musical theater artists. You don't know what a YouTuber does behind closed doors or in stages somewhere. So this was so much more than what we knew about him, and I wanted you to know that he did that. So that's all I gotta say. Anything else from anyone?
Is there a way where people can learn how to write songs?
Oh God. No, we're not pushing the almost but not quite complete guide to songwriting. No, available at Spectre Academy. No.
Even Henning has limits.
No, I have limits. If you want to know about songwriting, go listen to songs. Because you can't learn it anyway. It's not something you can actually learn. I mean, either you know it or you don't.
You know what you should do? Analyze one of Mike's songs.
We're going to analyze one of his songs. We're going to shut the camera down. We're going to have some tea. We're going to hang out with his family and friends and talk more about a man that we miss a lot.
Now he's holding him. We used to make it talk so tough. Gina dreams of running away. When she cries in the night time and whispers, baby, it's okay. Someday she says we gotta hold on to what we got. It doesn't make a difference if we make it all.
hope you enjoyed this video from his room that we will probably be in for the last time.
Bye, Poo Ninja,
Bye, Poo Ninja.
and all the others.
I was going to say Valerie, but Valerie probably is watching, but also Valeria. Valerie and Valeria's messing me up. Both of you guys.
I mean,
Just say bye, everyone. That kind of covers.
No, I know. I literally just want to say bye, Poo Ninja, Valeria, and Valerie. Everyone else can just fuck off.
Amanda, bye. Henning doesn't care about you, but
Love everyone. We're not doing animals at the end. We're shutting the lights off. Where are the lights? We're gonna shut the lights off. No, nobody trip over this.
Oh,
He said.
that was nearly expensive.
some are off.
That's a nice wish.
Right there.